Hey guys, this is Mind. Welcome to a video where today it isn't an announcement video, but I'm just got to announce a few things quickly. Firstly, sorry I didn't do the live stream. Like I said in my live stream announcement, I would do it last week. I didn't. I'm doing it on Saturday, between around 2:45, 2 o'clock on Saturday, 2 p.m. around about that time. So if you haven't already, put notifications and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, also another thing is it's February, and in my announcement video, like I said, if you haven't checked that out, I'll put that link in the description if you haven't watched that video. But it's not really necessary because I'm telling you already what we're going to be doing. But February, I've got to upload. I'm going to try and attempt for you guys because I don't upload regularly. I'm going to try and nearly up for 28 days in February. I'm going to try and get daily videos out, which I don't know if I can do it, but if not, I'll do 5 a week. You know, that's 20 videos in 28 days, which isn't bad, and I miss out 8 days. That isn't bad considering I've probably uploaded 2 gaming videos in the last 3 months, so that's not great for the series ideas. But this video today is going to be about the transfer window. So basically, I'm going to judge the teams, like how well they've done in the transfer window. I've got my thing up on my Xbox here, just looking at some of the teams so I can remind myself of the transfers. So let's start. We've got to start off alphabetically. Arsenal brought in some great signings. Aubameyang for 60 million. What a signing he is. You know, I'm not sure where Lacazette is going to play. If they're going to play 2 up front, is he going to change formation? I don't know, but anyway, that is a fantastic signing. Mkhitaryan for Sanchez. You know, Sanchez, he was always going to go, but at least they've got a replacement for him. He's decent, but, you know, he's not a Sanchez, is he? But I think they didn't spend money on a defender, which they needed, you know, because they play Monreal centre-back, which is, I'd say, quite a problem, because they've got Mustafi and Koscielny, obviously, because they play 3 at the back. Mustafi, Monreal and Koscielny, and then Mertesacker, I mean, he's never going to get played. Rob Holden's never going to get played. You know, but I think they needed to bring in another defender, just in case, you know, because Mertesacker's not good enough anymore. I think they just need to get rid of him. So I think they should have brought in a defender, personally, but I'm going to give them a solid, I'm going to give them a B-. If they brought in a defender, I would have, you know, given them a better. So on to the next team, which is Bournemouth. Right, Bournemouth didn't do any business, apart from they got rid of a fullback on loan, and Graben came back from his loan but went straight back out on loan. They kind of needed to do business, but there's not many weak spots in Bournemouth that they could have, you know, they could have exploited, because they haven't got any main weaknesses, because up top they've got like Defoe, Josh King, Callum Wilson. Goalkeeper, they've got Begovic, a good goalkeeper. Defence, Nathan Ake. Midfielders are quite solid as well. So they've got like a you know, they've got an expanded squad. They've got strength and depth in their squad. So I wouldn't say they needed to do anything, but I'm going to give them a D because they didn't do any business whatsoever. A D-. D-. Next team is Brighton. Now, Brighton have had a very good transfer window, in my opinion. You know, bringing in their record signing, Jurgen Lasadia from PSV, it was 15 million thereabouts. What a signing that is. Up front, they're going to be sorted. They also brought in Leonardo Osho on loan, which is another cracking signing, because he's a proven Premier League goal scorer. For Leicester, he's done it time and time again. So, again there, they've brought in experience for up front. But they had Glenn Murray already and Hemed. But, you know, they've just made it even better, really. And I don't know if they brought anybody else. No, I don't think they brought in anybody else, and apart from them. If they did, let me know. But they were the main 2 signings. But I'm going to give them I'm going to give them a B minus as well. That's a pretty good transfer window. They needed forwards, but maybe they could have brought in a couple of defenders just to shore up the defence. Oh, you can see my laptop there, because I've got my phone standing on my laptop, if you can't tell. Oh, right. Next team, Burnley. Burnley did some interesting business, bringing in 2 wingers. The 2 wingers were Nkudu and Aaron Lennon. Now, one of them's experienced, one of them's not. Nkudu hasn't been proven in the Premier League, but I reckon he will shine a lot for Burnley this season. And Aaron Lennon, that's a good signing for them. You know, he's at Everton, he hasn't really done much, but when he was at Tottenham, he was decent. So there's another team that he played for, I forgot now, but he was a very decent player. So I think Aaron Lennon was a decent signing for them. But did they need anywhere else, you know? Could they have brought in another forward maybe? But I'm going to give them a C. Because they did some business, but I think they could have done a little bit more. But maybe they didn't have to. That's my opinion. Chelsea. Now, Chelsea did some good business, I'd say, because they brought in Ross Barkley for 20 million. That is such a cheap deal for Ross Barkley, considering Van Dijk 75 million and Coutinho's 146. That's ridiculous compared. Well, Coutinho's, no footballer's worth that much amount of money, but I'm saying with the market, Coutinho went for the right price. Van Dijk, Southampton have got a massive profit, but anyway, Barkley 20 million. What a bargain signing that is. He's going to be decent in the future. Emerson Palmieri, I don't know much about him. I don't know much about him. Hopefully he does shine, but Marcus Alonso plays in that position, so I don't know if he's just a backup or he will fit into the side somewhere. And they brought in Giroud, which was a good sign, because they were, considering some of the players they went for Peter Crouch, Ashley Barnes, Andy Carroll, you know. Edin Dzeko was the only half decent one. Then I saw Giroud and I thought, that might not be a half bad signing. I think they should keep Batshuayi, but they got rid of Batshuayi on loan, which was a strange one for me, because he's doing well for Chelsea. I don't know if Conte doesn't think he's developed enough, or he's just not up to scratch, but honestly, Morata, they're not going to last with him all season. They've got Giroud. I think they should have kept Batshuayi, so I'm going to give them a C+, because I think they should have kept Batshuayi, and I don't think they didn't do enough business, but you know, they could have brought in a massive name, and they didn't. But Giroud was again another cheap signing, which was good, so they made good deals. Next one, Crystal Palace. Now, Crystal Palace haven't had the best of transfer windows. The main player I know they bought is a striker called Sorloth. I've never heard of him, but considering and they brought in Jack, this centre, and Rakip, I've never heard of any of these. So I don't think they've brought in some Premier League experienced players. So therefore, I'm going to give them a D-. It's just they haven't brought in experience, and I think they needed that. That's what they lacked in their squad. And I think striker, especially with Benteke, you know. Anyway, next team, Everton. I'd say Everton had a cracking transfer window. Bringing in Mangala on loan, Newcastle after him. Fortunately, we couldn't get him, but obviously you would choose Everton over Newcastle if the opportunity came. And they brought in Tosun. Tosun's a good forward, but I don't know if he's going to be good in the Premier League. I don't know if he'll struggle or not. That's my only query, but they've got Nias as a decent backup striker. They also brought in Theo Walcott. Theo Walcott was a cracking signing. He's been phenomenal in the first couple of games he's played for Everton. He's been sensational. I think that's the best sign they've done in... I mean, Rooney was another good signing on a free. He was a class signing, obviously. But that is a fantastic signing, Walcott. They loaned out Sandro Ramirez. He hasn't proved anything in the Premier League for what they bought him for. So I think he was, again, a disappointment in the Premier League. But, you know, they've got Tosun now. So I'm going to give them a C+. Actually, no, I'm going to give them a B-. They've done some decent business. Next team is Huddersfield. Now Huddersfield's a difficult one because they brought in on loan Congolo. Fantastic. That is a good signing once again. They brought in someone else. No, Pritchard, that was it. Now Pritchard's a decent signing. He's more for a Premier League team with, that's battling relegation, so he might fit. But I think, again, like what I said with Crystal Palace, they need Premier League proven players. Because Huddersfield at the start of the season had a great start, now they're dropping off. So I think they needed some Premier League proven players, so I'm going to give them a C. Next team is Liverpool. The only business they done was brought in Van Dijk. They needed, I think, another defender or a goalkeeper, possibly. Maybe got rid of Mignolet or Karius. I mean, there's been a lot of, discussion about the Liverpool goalkeepers. Are they good enough? They're not too bad. I mean, Mignolet is half decent. Karius, they're both half decent. But they're not, they're not the like of David De Gea or Edison or Courtois or Lloris, And if they're going to be battling Europe, I think they need a better keeper. So they needed to fill that space, and I think they need another defender because they're still leaking goals at the back. And bringing in Van Dijk for 75 million is nowhere near worth it. As I don't know how much Southampton bought him for from Celtic. So I'm going to give Liverpool a C-. Manchester City. Now Man City have got money to spend all the time, and no surprise they've gone and made another big signing through Laporte. What a signing that is. I think it was 60 million. Considering Van Dijk 75, that is a hell of a deal. Because Laporte is much better than Van Dijk, and he will be. That was the only business they did, but they didn't really need to do anything else, so I'm just going to give them a B. Manchester United. Another good transfer, a decent transfer window for them, as they brought in Sanchez and swapped him with Mkhitaryan. I don't think they did any other business, but I don't think necessarily, again, they didn't need to do much business. Some of these top teams didn't need to do business. Chelsea kind of did, because Morata's not been scoring. But like Man United, Man City, they didn't really need to do much business, so I'm going to give Man U a B-. Actually, no, I'm going to give them an A-, because Sanchez is an incredible signing. I know the wages were a bit high for Sanchez, quite high, but still, it's a great signing. Swap for Mkhitaryan. That's ridiculous. Next one, my team, Newcastle United. I wouldn't say we've had the worst of transfer windows. I'd actually say we've had a better transfer window in a way than we did in August. Even though we brought in Atsu, Manquillo's been awful. Joselu, get him out, just get him out. Marino's been a good signing. Atsu obviously has been a good signing. Jacob Murphy he's been alright. He's had some good patches, some bad patches. But in the transfer window, we made some good signings, bringing in. We brought in Slimani, which was a fantastic signing on loan. We were going to get him on a permanent, but we can't now because he's injured. So we would have got him on a permanent, but down to that we didn't. And I'm not sure who this goalkeeper that we've got is from Sparta Prague, Slovakian. I don't know anything about him, but I hope he's better than, if he's better than Elliott and Darlow. Because I'd say Elliott's a decent keeper. I'd say Elliott is our number one keeper, slightly better than Darlow, but is better than Darlow. But if this new goalkeeper is better than Elliott and Darlow, then we've got a good keeper. It's good business. And Kennedy on loan. Kennedy played well against Burnley. He hit the post. He won a penalty. I think he got an assist as well. He played phenomenal on his first game. I hope to see more of him though in the future. So I'm going to give it Newcastle a. It's hard. It's between a C+ and a B-. I'm going to say, we didn't sign anybody on a permanent, so C+, even though the goalkeeper we can't get on a permanent. Next up, Southampton. Southampton did some great business getting rid of Van Dijk for 75 million. I mean, come on, what profit that is. But they didn't do too much business. They brought in Carrillo from Monaco. They needed a target man striker. I mean, they've got Austin, but he's injured. But again, that's another decent striker. But I'm gonna give Southampton a C because I didn't see enough. C minus, let's say, because I didn't see enough of them in the transfer window. Next up is Stoke City with their new manager Paul Lambert, making some decent, very decent signings. Bringing in Undai, he is a tank basically. He's going to run through that midfield. But I'm not too sure about these other two, Staphylidis or Bo. I've never heard of them. I've heard of Bo from the Bundesliga. Both defenders, which they kind of needed. Wing backs, I think they might be playing as, or full backs. But either way, they could be decent for them if it works out. So I'm going to give Stoke a C, a normal C, because they did some business. They got Ndai, which was a good signing. Next up is Swansea. Swansea with their new manager, Carlos Carvajal, that's the one. Bringing back Andre Ayew to the club I thought it was a good signing, but it was unexpected. I didn't think they would bring him back to the club, considering West Ham just bought him like a season and a half ago. But I think that was the main business that they did. So I'm going to give Swansea a C because I didn't see them do enough. If I did miss any people, guys, just let me know down in the comment section below if I missed any signings from some key teams. Next up is Tottenham Hotspur, bringing in Lucas Moura. Now, Tottenham don't need to bring in many signings, but when they do, they're always decent, like Son in the past, or let's discount Sissoko. You know, Llorente is a decent backup, you know, like they did in the past. And Lucas Moura is a fantastic signing for 25 million, I think it was. What a bargain that is. So I'm going to give Tottenham a B+, because they always seem to do good business, whether that's making profit or just making one decent signing. Next up is Watford. Watford have had a strange transfer window, bringing Javi Gracia, their new manager, getting rid of Marcus Silva, even though in my opinion I thought Marcus Silva wasn't doing too bad. I mean, his recent run of results wasn't good enough, but you need to be getting results as a manager, and they'll pick up on that, the board, if you're not. But he's made some strange signings. He's brought in Delafeu on loan. That's a decent signing on the wing, even though they've got Richarlison and Carrillo. You know, they've got some The next one, Undong on loan. Undong. He's not proven. He's one of the worst signings I've ever seen. On loan, at least it is. Not on a permanent. From Sunderland. Sunderland signed 15 million. He's done nothing for them in the past year and a half. Or 2 years. He's playing. He's not even getting game time, I don't think, in the Championship. So why bring him to the Premier League? He's not proven. You've got Decore, Nathaniel Chalobah, Capoue, Will Hughes, Roberto Pereira, and you bring in Undong. So I'm going to give Watford a D+. Next up is West Brom. West Brom didn't do some too bad business, signing Hegazi on a permanent deal. Hegazi is a decent player. They signed another, I think it was player from the Saudi Arabian League, another defender I think it was, so I don't know too much about him. And they brought in Daniel Sturridge. They beat Newcastle to it, another player we could have got, but we didn't. But that's another good signing on loan from Alan Pardew. Daniel Sturridge is a very good signing, proven Premier League goal scorer. Not this season, he's quite injury prone, which is a risk. But it's a risk that most teams would be willing to take down the bottom of the table, bringing in Daniel Sturridge. So I'm going to give West Brom a B-. Next, final team is West Ham. West Ham did some, they did some interesting business again. They got rid of Andre Ayew, which was unexpected for me. I didn't think that he would go. João Mario on loan is a cracking signing. I'm confident that he probably won't sign on a permanent. They also brought in, they brought in somebody else. Jordan Hugill. Jordan Hugill is a very good Championship striker. Not sure about the Premier League though. So that's a bit of an odd one for me. So I'm gonna give West Ham a C. Right guys, so that's the end of this video. If you have enjoyed this video, please smash the like button down below. And I might put in the link in the description to the last video, which was my stream. Tomorrow will be another video as we're trying to get out some daily videos. And just saying, my live stream does count on Saturday as a video. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought, who you thought had the best transfer window. So I think I said Man U did, or I think it was Brighton or Man U. But you know, that's a decent transfer window business done. Most spent in the Premier League ever, I think it is, in a January transfer window. So hopefully Newcastle can stay up. We'll have some more vlogs out soon. Football Manager video or FIFA tomorrow. And then Saturday's obviously live stream, and Sunday will be, might be another football related video, or I might be doing Fortnite. Fortnite can be brought onto the channel. So guys, that's the end of this video, and I'll see you next time. Please smash the like button. See ya.